The difference between good debt and bad debt, a good debt is something that actually earns you something. So when you're buying a real estate property for a rental, hey, that's great debt because you're going to be earning money off of that. So if your mortgage payment is going to be less than what you can charge for rent, that's great debt. If you want to buy a house and it's a house you can truly afford, right? It's a house that's within your budget. It's a house that's everything that you want, right?
Mhm.
And good debt. You're going to earn equity throughout the years, right? Good debt. So if you're buying a car for the purposes of a business or renting it out, and maybe you're leasing the car and you're writing it off of your taxes, then cool. You've got income that covers that expense, right? And if you've got a credit card solely for the reason of increasing your credit, you would not be keeping debt on that card, right? You'd be paying it off every single month. So it wouldn't be good debt or bad debt. There should be no debt. If you're using a credit card, it's just a tool to get what you want, and it's not a vehicle to be able to buy things you can't afford. So if bad debt is anything that's like consumer debt, right? So credit cards, usually if you're in credit card debt, it's bad debt. If you're in this, expensive car that you can't afford, 9 times out of 10 is bad debt. Some people are on the fence whether or not student loans qualify as good debt or bad debt. So I always say if you're going to a school that is a reasonable cost for a major that you're actually going to be able to make money enough to pay off that loan, then it could be good debt. But if you go to school and you're paying $100,000 a year to graduate in basket weaving, and you're going to end up working, 12 hours a week, making $50 an hour for the rest of your life, then it's probably not a good idea. So people have kind of mixed reviews on whether or not spending for college is good or bad. It's all about the return on investment. So if you're going to spend money to make money, then awesome. If you're going to spend money to just be end up working in Starbucks, then it's not worth it. So does that
So
answer your
that's
question?
where that always gets me when it comes to real estate because like I've always bought
Mhm.
and sold homes, like a bunch of them. And
Mhm.
I did it because every time I moved, I would be able to rent it out, or I did it so that I
Mhm.
could, you can have a short term or a long term lease. And now I'm like, man, I just want to like sell everything because I don't want to just have a house to have a house. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so for me, like the house seems like bad debt.
No, it's definitely not bad debt because the house is going to increase in value. What you're feeling is the stress of ownership. So buying property is work, and it's not as quote unquote passive income as people want to think it is or say it is. Like I own 3 rental properties, and 9 times out of 10 we just cash and checks. And then there's that 10th time where it is a nightmare, right? And you've got to go in and redo a property, or you've got to take out 50 bags of trash, or you've got to do an eviction, and it just makes you feel like, why do I do this? But then the other like 80, 90% of the time, it's pretty great. So it's great if you need cash flow and you want to create like that passive income so that you don't want to work one day and you want to live off of your rental properties. Wonderful. If you don't need that, then you could definitely sell those houses, put that money into the market, and be earning on your money with way less stress. So buying property is always a stress thing. Some people can
Mhm.
handle it and some people can't. Some people want it and some people don't. You just have to figure out where you fall in that camp.
Got it. Thank you.
Mhm. All right, my lady. Thanks for
Yep.
joining.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.